Hello everyone, my name is Bernard Muhia. Welcome to the Zingi Environmental Series. Now this particular show is called the Zingi Women. Our goal is to strengthen climate action by promoting gender equality, and we do this by highlighting the stories of female environmentalists who are doing the most in the pushback against climate change. You can support this show using PayPal, M-Pesa Global, Western Union, MoneyGram, and any other services. The details are in the link below, and thank you so much for your support. So today I'm here with the environmental champion, Fionah Njeri, aka
Fifiture.
What does that mean?
Basically, since I'm Fionah, short form of Fionah is Fifi, and I am a nature enthusiast. So a way to link both Fifi and nature is Fifiture. Exactly.
So I'm curious, how did you find yourself in the environmental conservation?
I grew up loving nature, and this was instigated much by my parents, because we moved into a semi-arid area, and it's like moving into Nairobi National Park. That area is
semi-arid.
Yeah, and then it had the wild animals and beautiful birds. So every time my dad used to take us through a walk around the area, and he'd see beautiful birds, and then he said, these are beautiful creations of God. So every time I looked at nature, I always echo my dad's voice in my head, the back of my head. Yeah, so that is how I grew up loving nature. And then a few years back, I came to realize the area, or rather most places in Kenya, we are losing the initial aspect of nature into pollution or land degradation and stuff like that. And that is how I found myself now getting into action, in little actions every day. That is what makes who I am.
I see your earrings are actually nature inspired.
Beautiful creations of God. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So what excites you about the nature?
Nature, it's made by God, first of all, and it is meant to favor us. I had a quote that trees are the intermediary between human beings and the voice of heaven. So basically, trees, they are what we need, but industrialization, civilization happened. So I think we are losing it, but daily actions will actually make us restore.
And what three, either projects, awards, or accomplishments that you can list for us that you are most proud of?
I joined Campus and the Environmental Club, and I was crowned as Miss Environment Africa Nazarene University, because I have used that platform to grow and inform myself about conservation. Also, being Miss Environment, I got into a project to restore the same area that I live in, Rangao. And I called upon, we mobilized the community, of course I couldn't do this alone, into growing of trees, managing waste. Slowly now it's a project, and now it's called the Greener Communities Program. And the first community was the Rangao community where I live, and then we went to Meru, Shago. Then we are moving into other communities as a team, and that is the accomplishment, or rather a progressive kind of accomplishment that I am proud of.
You've been nominated for the Young Friend of the Planet.
Yes. The Optiven Go Green Awards. It's still going on. Yes, so I'll let you know in case I win.
How can people vote for you?
Just search on Google Optiven Go Green Awards. Then there's a place called Click to Vote. Scroll towards category 22 and you'll come across the name Fionah Njeri. Click send, enter your details, and voting is every day. Yeah.
When is it closing?
Probably end of this month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what can be done to increase the role of women in conservation?
What can be done is increasing opportunities for them. So I was actually reading an article whereby it states that most of the indigenous communities have been misplaced, and this makes people move into foreign lands that now they have to keep up with making an income, and the women just get into any job as long as they have money, which I feel is not fair for the indigenous people. So if they are able to be compensated for the lands that they were initially part of, and also increasing opportunities for them to venture into farming or activities that are climate smart but still empower them, that would be so nice.
Give us a few examples of climate smart solutions that you can propose.
Sustainable farming. If they are able to produce their own food and feed themselves and also create income through it, that would be. And I think it is also something that most entities are venturing in, empowering women to venture into something like agroforestry. They're able to have their own tree nurseries, they're able to sell food and grow and sell food. I think sustainable farming is something that they can venture in. Yeah.
Now, what will happen if we don't put the brakes on global warming?
I think nature, we cannot destroy nature. Nature will destroy us. So in as much as nature, right now nature is trying to replenish itself without, and now we the human beings are going to suffer, obviously, because when the planet is getting hotter, then that means more diseases, more, like there is no more food, it becomes a food crisis, pest invasion, cases of unpredictable weather patterns. So if we do nothing about it, then obviously nature is going to do something, but we are going to be at the expense of suffering.
What simple steps then can we do in our daily lives to push back global warming?
One common restoration activity is growing of trees, and I think if we are able to do research and do it correctly, making the right type of trees in the right habitat, that will actually, because trees are also carbon sink, the ocean is a carbon sink. So if we are able, within our spaces and different habitats, if we are able to grow trees and manage waste from home levels, that will actually, it's a boost towards climate action. But those are our small scale actions. We also demand for large scale actions, because if the small scale action is happening and the large scale is not happening, that is demeaning our small scale action. You get? Yes. So I think there has to be a correlation between local people and the government to be able to restore the ecosystem.
Speaking of large scale actions, COP26 is happening. What are your thoughts on that?
COP26 is a conference that over 400 jets flew into to have an inspiring, very inspiring conference. But I feel like activism should be no more COPs until there's accountability for the previous COPs, until countries now start honoring the Paris Agreement. I mean, if countries cannot honor the Paris Agreement, do you think COP26 will actually make them honor? Yeah, so I feel like we need more action on the ground than talks. Yeah, because I feel, yes, there's a climate crisis. If people are not addressing it, also people have the crisis of conservation communication. So how do we communicate to the indigenous communities in their traditional ways? How can we learn the traditional concept of conservation that binded them together with nature. How comes now we have to introduce other models of conservation that do not apply? So I think COP26 is just talks.
Personally now, what does the next 5 years look like for you in terms of conservation?
I think a win for nature is a win for me. So since we started the initiative, a startup initiative actually, the Greener Communities program, if we are able to continue with what we are doing, and the end game will be a balanced microclimate of that area, that will be a win for me in the next 5 years. To see my trees grow, to wake up in the morning and hear the bird songs along that area. Yeah, so that will be nice even for the people living in that area and other communities that we visit and interact with the communities to restore their area. So that is a win.
Now, how can people support the Greener Communities Initiative?
Well, the Greener Communities Initiative is youth-led. It's led by young people and mentored by other sort of people in the society. So first we'll be joining us and also working and partnering with us towards the common good. So if there's a way that we can work together with the indigenous local people towards a greener society, that will be a win. And also if people actually change their mindset, since the environment we are all part of the environment, and this is something that everyone would want. You'd want a stronger immunity, you want fresh air. So I feel like joining us and supporting and partnering with us will be much benefits. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking to environmental champion Fionah Njeri, Miss Environment, African Nazarene University, and also nominee for the Young Friend of the Planet. Make sure you vote for her. This has been the Zingi Women, proudly brought to you by Zingi Environmental Conservation. My name is Bernard Muhia. You can support this show using PayPal, MoneyGram, Express Money, or any other service. The details are in the description below. And thank you so much for your support. So I'll leave you with the 4 R's: refuse, reuse, reduce, and recycle. Catch you in the next video. Bye.